This is Praios and I'm a professional gambler. Sorry for the small delay. Today we want to talk about hero calls. And yeah, before we can get into that, please also consider to join my second channel. This will be about money, personal finance, investing, and cryptocurrency. Only 4 videos live yet, but yeah, please check that out. Yeah, this is another video from the poker mastermind, Galfond. And yeah, not to confuse with the PLO mastermind, but this is the mastermind. He's a great player, and yeah, he made a video about a hero call with Jack High. I'm very enthusiastic to see that. This will be probably very interesting. Let's see if his call is retarded or not. Yeah, if you watch this on Twitch, please follow, and if you watch this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, and yeah, also don't forget to put bell notifications on that you get notified once a new video comes out. So without further ado, let's now get into the action.
So one of my more memorable hands, I was 22 or 23 and was playing a tournament at Bellagio. It was WPT 5 Diamond. It's a $10,000 buy-in tournament. This is day 1 or day 2. It's very early in the tournament. And I had recently been on high stakes poker, which was like a kind of a career highlight for me at that point, or it was going to be, but it went kind of poorly. What happened was I won't go into the long story, but the short story is I was scheduled to play on there for 1 full day. I was an alternate the day before.
If I remember correctly, he did something very stupid against Daniel Negreanu and lost a lot of money. But let's see what the story was.
I got called in partway through the day as an alternate, and I played, and I was so boring that they canceled my invitation for the next day. So I only got to play part of a day. And by boring, I mean I just didn't play many hands and whatever. It was boring. So in this tournament, somebody else at my table who I won.
Yeah, I mean, if you are trying to make money, it is boring. And yeah, that's why so many retards get invited and recreationals, because it's fun to watch them. Not fun to watch like 6 wrecks battle each other.
Name, who had been on high stakes poker before. He asked me like why or how I got invited to play on high stakes poker. Like he was surprised that they let me play. And so I don't remember what I said. It was probably just something very friendly, but I remember I was offended. And at that point, you know, I was playing very big games online and winning against really good players. So like,
yeah, but the live community don't necessarily knows about the online dudes. But yeah, he was one of the best online.
There was a time in my career where there was a bit of a chip on my shoulder.
You too.
Where I knew I was one of the top players in the world, and most of the world didn't think that, or didn't even know who I was. And so things like that got to me a lot. And so the reason
you should not let ego into the equation. So he was, yeah. So, but I think he is now probably not behaving like he did then. But yeah, if you are young, you want to be recognized as what you are, and he probably was one of the best players.
The reason that I tell all that backstory is that basically what happened is I played a hand, and in a way that not a lot of people would have played, and it turned out to be a good way to play it in the moment. And so I kind of got to I don't know, prove myself in that setting. So the way the hand went, I was on the button. By the way, I was way too loose aggressive back then as well.
it also might be the case that he is just results orientated. I mean, if you make a hero call, yeah, it's very hard to say if this was bad or not. And often you just make your judgment based on the result. And yeah, if he got lucky and his opponent was bluffing, he's like, oh, I'm a genius. But if you make the same call and you are beat, then you sometimes feel very, very stupid. So that's one thing that can really get to you emotionally. You make hero calls.
Well, especially when transitioning from like heads up no limit online to 9-handed tournaments. But part of that was just being used to, like, aggressive styles worked very well back then, but part of it was also I thought I had a big skill edge over the field, so I was going to play more hands and play them more aggressively. So in this hand, I have Jack 4 offsuit on the button. I raise. I have the Jack of Spades. Small blind calls, and this was a known player too, not the one that made that comment to me. This was Amir Vahidi, who I had seen on World Series of Poker broadcasts many times. The flop was Queen 8-5 with a flush draw, spades. I have the Jack of Spades. Check. I bet half pot. He calls. Turn is a king offsuit. He checks. I don't have a very good hand or draw, but king's an overcard. I thought, he's going to fold a lot of like 8x.
Sorry, had my phone, my mic muted. Yeah, I think this is definitely very loose pre-flop, and yeah, I mean it's just, I mean it depends who your opponent is and if it makes sense to barrel the scare card, I guess. So he made the second barrel
and got shots and things like that. So I bet again, about half pot. He calls. Now I have a very aggressive image just because I've been playing aggressively, but also because at this time there were not as many players that were young, and the perception of everybody when a young kid was at the table is that they're a maniac. So river is the
from his description, he was a maniac.
ace of spades, bringing the front door flush, and he leads into me for half pot. And I have nothing but jack high. I have the Jack of Spades blocker, which is a good blocker to consider raising with. But as I sat there thinking through the hands he would play that way, I basically kept coming back to, this ace is a scare card, and he thinks I'm a maniac. So if he has a good hand, why is he going to bet? But
yeah, I think that thinking makes sense. But he could also have made something, and he just don't want him to check back with his queen or king or ace or whatever. Yeah, okay, let's see what he has to say in addition to that.
And I go back to, okay, well, he's check called twice. The flush got there. The only draw that could have called twice that missed is 7.
By the way, there is an ace of spades on the screen. Show it to you. You see that now, but now it will be gone again as, yeah, if I make it big, you cannot see it anymore. But yeah, you know that there's an ace of spades.
6 for the open ender, because like 9-6 is going to fold without a flush draw. So there's only one hand that I can beat, but why would he bet with any other hand? Because if he's got like, I don't know, ace 8, why doesn't he just check and let me bluff? If he's got a strong flush or nut flush, especially, why doesn't he check? Because the king was offsuit.
By the way, I think this call is retarded. I mean, people also do retarded things. And sometimes, especially fish or recreationals, do things you never would expect them to do. Like, for example, bluff with whatever, 5-6 or something. And now you made a terrible hero call with Jack High. I think this call is not good at all. The only thing he's beating is 6-7 if his opponent is halfway decent, because all the gut shots and stuff should have folded before that. And if he has a flush draw, he could lead now. I think it is not out of the question that people might lead this, just getting greedy and thinking that his opponent might check back. Maybe he's not aware of his table image, so yeah, I don't like it.
So why doesn't he check?
Especially because he could also be bluffing with better hands.
Let me bet and get the check raise in against my thin value or bluffs. And I went into the tank and I kept thinking, like, he can't have any bluffs, but he can't have any value bets, because I just really don't think that he would bet any hands this way that were good. Anyways, I ended up calling, and he did have 7-6, which is the only thing he could have, I guess.
No, don't think this is the only thing you could have. Sometimes people do very stupid, surprising stuff. Sometimes also things that don't make any sense. So yeah, I don't like it. I think this is way too risky. I mean, I like making hero calls, but it seems that he also didn't have that great of a read on the other guy. So yeah, I would fold this 100%, but he was correct. But there are also other videos out there where people made hero calls like this. I remember one from Tom Dorn, where he calls with Jack 10 or something. I think he also thought that his opponent had another draw that he beats, but he was terribly wrong. And I don't think that this is a break-even call or better. This is just spewy in my eyes.
And I won the hand with Jack high. And I remember it was a small pot early in a tournament. So like financially, it was not important to me. Like the actual winning the pot was not important, but I remember feeling.
One thing is for sure, all the guys on the table who paid attention will not try to bluff him in the future. As he will be perceived as a huge calling station.
I don't know the word for it. But I remember feeling good that I'd kind of proven myself to the table. I remember looking specifically at the player who made that comment to me, just to see his reaction, because he was...
I think this is just an ego thing, and yeah, sorry to bring that to you, Phil, but I think this call was not good at all.
He was very surprised.
Yeah, but nice story. Like the video for sure. Let me make some additional comments before we wrap up the session. Yeah, I think this call is not good, but often you have opponents that are very polarized. And so they bet with very good hands. So in No Limit Hold'em, this would be like top pair or better. And they also bet the weak stuff, the misdraws and stuff. And against these guys, often they also don't pay attention if their line makes sense. And against these dudes, you often can call with like ace high and stuff if their range is very polarized. And I remember in the past against one fish, I had the read that he's betting very polarized, and I made a lot of hero calls against him. And at some point, he was so tilted and mad at me that once I get to the table, he would instantly leave and never play any hands against me anymore, because he thought that I was cheating, but I just had a very good read on him. So this was back on Full Tilt. The guy was called smart and some number, and yeah, he stopped playing me completely after I developed the read on him. And yeah, he was one big fish playing a lot, and this was definitely hurting me. So I shouldn't have maximized the EV against him and make all these very good calls. But yeah, in the end, they didn't work good because I couldn't play against him anymore, because he would change table once I joined. But yeah, this was a funny video. Yeah, also back to the hand again. I think, in my eyes, everything makes more sense when calling the river. Even raising the river is better, because if his opponent bluffs with some sort of bullshit or is thinly betting for value, he could be in a very tough spot. Although, actually, I think folding is by far the best, but I dislike, from all other options, calling even more than everything else. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click all these good YouTube buttons and Twitch buttons. Check out my other channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time, good luck at the tables. Bye-bye.